Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Startup Heroes. My name is Christopher Wood. We got
Michael Artizabal
and
Nate Tucker.
hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Thank you for coming. We wanted to kind of have a bonus episode. We've had a pretty long run of our normal content. We're getting back into the interview episodes in the next few weeks of the Startup Heroes side. And we thought it would be kind of fun to do we're calling it our bonus community chest episode, kind of like Monopoly. Basically, we just want to talk about how things are going in our world and just kind of heap out some praise on people that we think are really cool and fun in the community and businesses and organizations and stuff like that. So, yeah, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Doing pretty chill. Yeah, nice day. Helping people. Beautiful sunshine out in the world. That's been nice.
It is a very pretty day today, but I hear next week it's going to get really hot.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I like the warm weather.
I hate it with a passion. How are you, Nate?
I'm doing great. Yeah, like Michael said, it's a great day. The past few weeks have been busy, but in like a fun way, you know? Lots of good stuff going on. I'm excited to talk about all of it.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I think it'd be fun to jump in and just kind of see what's going on in your worlds. And I guess our worlds, your worlds too. How's Coffee Break going?
Yeah, I think it's going phenomenally. It's been a lot of fun. We've had between 70 and 100 people at each one, and we've done, I think, 4 so far.
Sounds right.
Yeah, because this will be our 5th one in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's been awesome having the local musicians show up and play, the local artists show up, the local nonprofits, the local resources, and I think every time we have it, we're like, the next one's probably not going to be very good because this one was just so good. And then we show up to the next one, we're like, we were wrong. This was awesome.
This might be the best one yet.
Where I was like, this is my favorite one so far. And then we say it again. Yeah, we're I don't know. It's been great. And the word intentionality and I think like just intentionality and comfort. Did I say intentionality twice?
Yeah. But that people have been saying it so much that it's worth
I did it
2
on
times.
purpose. My brain kind of reset for a second. There was too many alities. But yeah, I think that just the fact that we asked a bunch of people what they actually wanted out of it, and then we're trying to do that, and it's really cool. And we're kind of upgrading our setup every time, and we have like official stickers now to kind of say what industry you're a part of. And I don't know, it's just been a lot of fun. We've had ourselves some really cool relationships and connections we made from it, and I have in the last couple of weeks just had several people be like, yeah, I have this meeting with so-and-so that I met at Coffee Break. Like literally yesterday, Brittany
awesome.
from Southern Payroll, I was like, yeah, I'm meeting with someone that I met at Coffee Break.
Actually, yeah, I saw her. I didn't realize that's what
It was
happened.
with Emily Malone.
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so cool. Because, I mean, I remember us, like, dreaming up, like, how cool that would be. And it's happening. That's amazing.
Yeah, so literally earlier today, I was at lunch with someone who they wanted to talk to me originally about the Green Ice Festival, was like what they'd reach out to me about. And as I was talking to them, I was just telling them like a bit about like the stuff that I have going on and things that I do. And they were like, you know, like, it sounds like you're really like into the community. Like I'm looking for more stuff to do and get involved. I was like, literally got the perfect event for you. And I told them about Coffee Break and they were like, that's literally what I'm looking for. So just having those moments has been super cool. Every time I talk about it, people are either going, whoa, I've heard about that, I really want to go, or they're going, I was there, I loved it, thank you for doing it. And that's just awesome.
That's so cool.
I think it's one of those things, and I think it coincides with business and art, where you kind of make what you want yourself.
Yeah.
And that's how you kind of show up authentically and genuinely. And I think we're just literally making the event that we want to go to. And people are vibing with it, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, 100%. You mentioned that originally you were going to have this meeting with someone about talking about Green Eyes. Mm-hmm. So can you just briefly share with people what Green Eyes is if they haven't heard about it before? And then also just tell us how's that going?
Absolutely. Thank you, Michael. So the Green Ice Festival is my personal big project right now that I'm pursuing along with Dylan Wisnett, fellow HiveThink member who couldn't be on today. We have been working on it for about 6 months now. And what it is a cryptid-themed fall festival that's coming to Chickamauga, Georgia, our hometown. It's going to be on October 5th. So we actually did a podcast episode a few weeks ago where we talk all about kind of the inspiration behind it, and we really get into like the details, so like the legend that inspired it. So please go listen to that. But as far as like new updates, we now officially have a date that's been approved by the city council. Yeah, so it's going to be October 5th, 2024. So there's still plenty of time to plan. If you're hearing about this and want to go to it, you've got literally months to ask off or plan to come down here for it. There's going to be a lot of other fun stuff going on in like the Chattanooga area around that time. So if you're like from afar and it sounds neat to you, like there's so many other things you can come do while you're here. Make a whole trip out of it because you'll love our area. But yeah, so like I said, we got approval. So now we've been kind of kicking in a high gear for actually getting everything moving. So that's meant actually getting our vendors set up. And so far we have, I think as of today, 16 or 17 paid vendors signed up. So those folks are good to go. They're all cryptid themed. A lot of them are arts and crafts people, or they're bringing like snack foods and stuff like that. One person is bringing a cow. Nice. Yeah. So all kinds of wacky fun stuff. Beyond the vendors, we also are getting our music prepped right now, so soon we'll have details on our music acts coming out. It's going to be nothing but great local musicians because we really want to keep this local and focus on people from our area who are really talented. So expect info on that soon on our social media. Then other big updates we have are that we have got our alcohol sorted out. So we will have alcohol at the event, which is a huge plus, at least for me personally. I think that's going to be really great. Yeah, so just lots going on. It's popping off, and it's so cool to see. Oh, one more big one. Merchandise. We finally have all of our merchandise on the way. So if you're listening and you're thinking to yourself, about 2 months ago, I pre-ordered a shirt and some plushies. Where's that at? 1, I sent an email. 2, it is on the way. We have ordered it, so now it is coming your way, so expect that really soon.
Yeah, read your emails.
I love that. I'm so excited for Green Eyes Festival. It's going to be so cool. Mm-hmm. I've not been to a cryptid themed festival like you guys have, and I have no idea what to expect. But from the little, just you guys in the corner, just kind of muttering to yourselves and coming up with these dire plans and machinations, I know it's going to be amazing.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah. No, it's really exciting. And I can feel how passionate you guys are about it. So I know it's crafted with love. Yeah.
Speaking of festivals, so we're working on one. So the last 2 years, we've done a not super decent, but decent enough job at making Red Bank's first Oktoberfest. We were working on a music festival and some things changed. And I think now we're combining Oktoberfest, Red Bank with the idea of a music festival. So it's going to be an Oktoberfest music festival in Red Bank. And we just found out today actually that, so we're working with Be the Change Collective and Be the Change Youth Initiative, and they got a grant today to pay for 3 bands to play at the music festival in October.
Oh, wow. Sweet.
Yeah. So I think we're planning to have that in September. So right before Green Eyes Festival, because apparently, even though it's called Oktoberfest happens in September in Germany.
Oh, interesting.
Which is stupid.
But maybe it's like the pregame to people buying Oktoberfest beer all throughout October. So it's like big festival. Check this out. Guess what? Now drink beer for October.
Yeah,
it's like a
it's
local
the bringing
scheme
of October.
Yeah, they wanted to like avoid all the tourists, so you tell them it's like a different day, so the locals can enjoy
It's like
it.
the Greenland, Iceland thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I think we're planning to do it in September. That'll kind of get us ahead of all the other Oktoberfest celebrations and ahead of fall festivals and Halloween stuff, and the weather will be great, stuff like that. So that's exciting.
Very cool. Nice. Okay, so now moving on to you, Chris, and also Nate, marketing manager at Be Caffeinated. What's going on in the Be Caffeinated world and related businesses?
Yeah, so Doug's my business partner at Be Caffeinated and New Wave. We went out to it's called Shop 5. So it's our new location that's being built in Rossville, Georgia. And it's a real building. It's hard to believe. We have been working on this for 3 years now. Like Nate said, when him and Dylan started working with us, like that night or the day after was when I was like, hey, you want to see a cool idea that we're working on for our location in Rossville? And that was 3 years ago. But it's finally happening. So we figured out how to acquire the land, and we're working with some investors to actually build the building. And it's a real building now, and it looks beautiful, and the drive-through windows are so large, and they close so quietly, and they open so smoothly, and it's really cool. It's almost April, or it will be when this comes out, and we're supposed to open around second or third week of May. So we're like 6 weeks out.
Wow, that's crazy.
Kind of gave me an ulcer thinking about that, a little bit of an aneurysm, but we're stoked. So we're actually, when this airs, we'll have applications open for baristas for that and management, and we're gonna just have a lot of fun and go gangbusters and caffeinate North Georgia as they come into Chattanooga on their way to work.
That's exciting. So this will be the second state.
Yes.
Yeah, this will be officially be caffeinated in 2 states.
We will be a franchise now.
Yeah.
Because we were crossing state borders.
Wow, that's a big one.
Which means we have to figure out new tax stuff. But yeah, it's a dream come true. It's really cool. We got to decide a lot of stuff, more stuff than we wanted to, honestly, and the designs. And even today, Doug and I were still choosing paint colors and like, yeah, we want that part of the ceiling stained white and that one is going to be gray, and we're like, we don't know what we're doing, but it looks pretty good. But we're kind of referencing this, what's it called, like a rendering that someone did a couple years ago, and we just love it, so we're just referencing that for all of our color decisions. But yeah, it's going to be really cool. It'll be drive through, and it'll also have some seating on the front, and you can walk in and order. And yeah, it's right next to the old Roy's diner right there, and it's really cool, really exciting.
Yeah, from just like seeing some of the renderings and then now seeing like some of the shots of it. One of the things I thought was really cool from when you've talked about it is how it's kind of been like, we learned so many things from this shop and this shop and this shop. And it's essentially like, let's compile all the best things together that's best for customers, but also for quality of life of baristas and everyone else. And it's really neat to see like, oh, this is the first like from the ground up decaffeinated shop. Super cool.
Doug and I keep talking about how excited we are that we get to choose where the water drains are.
Yeah.
Because we've built out all of our kitchens based on where the water drains are, because that's where the espresso machine has to go. And then you have to have the mop sink and the 3 compartment sink. And then you have to have your Fetco drain and like all this, like water access, water deposit. Yeah. So it sounds really stupid. We're like, we got to choose where the water drains are.
Honestly, from an outside perspective right there, it feels like when a kid's like, why are these adults so freaking out about a microwave? And it's like, trust me, when you're my age, you'll understand.
Or like your washing machine sings at you. And you're like,
yeah, that's super cool.
Really cool. Yeah. And one of the most exciting parts is we're going to be about a block and a half away from Mac's Kitchen and Bar.
Ooh.
So I'll be working a lot over at the Rossville shop and just head over to them and get some rainbow trout and
I still need to go there. What's wrong?
You haven't been there yet?
No.
Michael. Oh my God.
Cut the show.
Sorry guys, they have to go out back and beat me up.
I'm so disappointed. I'm sorry, Chef Brian and Jess.
Sorry. Hey, you know what? I'll go work out that shop too. We'll go to Matt's.
All right, we're gonna make it happen. But if you haven't had their trout, do it now. It's back on the menu.
I haven't had the trout.
Do it
it's
now.
Back on the menu. Okay.
It's back on the menu, like as of last week, I think.
Good to know. Okay, this week.
So that's actually a really good segue. Not the part about me sucking and not having been in Mac, whatever.
I guess we'll forgive you for that.
But it's a good transition for me to then just ask out like the next part of the section. We just want to shout out some love to cool businesses and cool people in Chattanooga that were like, oh yeah, they're doing something cool. So sorry if we miss you. You know, you're probably really awesome too. But
this is not an exhaustive list. Yeah. These are just front of mind that we just happen to think of right now, or if we have a list. But it does not mean we don't like you if we don't mention you.
Yeah. So already Mac's Kitchen. You're already on the list. First on the list.
Yes, first on every list. No. Yeah, I'll start with Max. Chef McDonald. Brian, I love you. I'm just kidding. Not really. You're great. The food you guys make is incredible. And I'm looking at you in the camera, I think. Yeah, the trout, man. And like he has this way of making food from when he was a kid, but like good. Yeah. It's incredible. And then Jess just makes the desserts and they're so good. She had like a whiskey caramel bread pudding one time.
Oh, dang.
Oh my God. And I think she just started making bagels, which I'm kind of like, you know, you didn't have to do that, but I also want to try them because I know they're going to be so good. But yeah, they're phenomenal. And their wine selection is fantastic. And they have like wine flights that you can try. And then Chattanooga Kombucha just moved into there because the meadery closed down and they kind of took over that space.
Really?
So cool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think they just finished building it out recently.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my first one.
Nice. Okay.
That's huge.
My first one is Attack of the Tatsu. If you haven't been there, phenomenal ramen. And we had some like ribs there the other day. holy, oh my gosh, so freaking good. Also, fun fact that I didn't realize, when you first walk in, you're like, oh, this is just a tiny little place with upfront seating. But there's actually, you can go back, there's seating in the back where the lighting is all like dim but red, and it feels like you're in a kung fu movie, and at any moment, Jackie Chan's gonna start fighting someone. So if that sounds awesome to you, as awesome as it sounds to me, then you're gonna love that experience. But I honestly, I love that place so much.
I give it like an 8 out of 10, and it would have been a 9 out of 10. But when we sat in the back, my allergies got wrecked because there's some sort of, I think it's the sesame oil. It like smokes, and I'm super allergic to smoke. So the whole time I was like crying sitting across from Jasmine. And so I think next time we would go, if that was happening again, we would just sit in the front.
Oh yeah.
But that's literally my only mark where I was just like, my body didn't like being there. Everything else about me loved it. Yeah. I was like, this is so. I had tears at Max too, but for different reasons. So, yeah.
Nice. So that's my first.
So the place that I want to talk about is one that I've talked about, not on this podcast before, but if you just know me, I talk about it pretty often. So I love beer. I love local breweries. There's not one in town that I don't love. And by far, though, my favorite is Odd Story Brewery, and they did something really cool the other day that I was really inspired by. So over at B Caffeine, we have our Give Back program where we do profit share days with local nonprofits, and they actually did one for Downside Up, which is a great local nonprofit that supports local kids of all abilities. And yeah, they did a really cool like nonprofit night for them, where anything you bought like went to like supporting Downside Up, and it's just like a lot of fun. I got a bunch of friends, we went to it, so I really appreciate seeing that they're like bridging that gap of like helping out nonprofits in the community. That's really awesome to see.
Yeah, they've done it for a minute because they had one for Be the Change last year. It's I love businesses doing that, and if everyone did that, we'd have even more community support that we can do.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just I guess like another, like I haven't ate there yet, but one that I know also does cool stuff like that I've heard is like Wooden City, right? I believe they do lots of that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's their old fashioned. They have like, I think it's $1 from every old fashioned they sell goes to a nonprofit, which is super cool. It was a really fun like reason to go get more old fashioned, which I don't usually need a reason to go do that, but it's like a draft old fashioned too, which is really fun. Like it's pre-made. So.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like that too. Like I already love Odd Story. It just gave me an excuse to go out there and bring all my friends, you know, and it's like, not only do I get to get drunk, but I get to do it and help someone out.
If that's not the American dream, I don't know what it is. All right. The next one for me, I'm just going to do the whole group. I might be stealing some of y'all's, but oh well, I'm going first. Clever Ale House, Daily Ration, Bitter Alibi, Civil Provisions. And now they have something choo-choo. I forget what it's called. It's the old Green Light and the old American Tap House.
Oh gosh, I feel so bad.
And then they have a food. Anyways, you know, Jeff, Jason, Nelson, and Tiffany, the whole team over there, they're just awesome. Every time I see them, it's just a really fun conversation. They always make a point if I'm at one of their establishments and they're there to come over and chat with me. And we just kind of, you know, shoot it over. Hey, what's the crazy thing happened to you guys this week? When they were building out Civil, we were building out our bakery, and we were both having so much trouble with our hoods, and there was just so much camaraderie of, yeah, you also are using the one guy in Chattanooga that can install hoods. Oh yeah. So he had to leave my place at 3. He was going to yours. Oh yeah. And like our bakery is at the base of Signal Mountain and Civil was at the top of Signal Mountain. So it was literally just going back and forth there. But yeah, they're just doing cool stuff, and we've been excited to keep working with them on more and more things. And they're also at Clever they're coming out with a drink with Be the Change. It's kind of a give back orientation as well. And they've been doing more kind of community events, and they had like a bike meetup there recently. And yeah, they're just doing really cool stuff. And I love the model that they do for their businesses and employees, and just how they have like profit sharing and just a really cool kind of promotion track, and just really good guys and doing cool stuff.
So
awesome.
Chris, would you be able to like in like a single sentence really quickly to like describe each place, like what makes them different?
Absolutely. So we'll start with the original, which would be Bitter Alibi. That one is right behind the old Coin Op arcade, which is now Bless Your Heart. It is the closest I've found to like a New Orleans dive bar in Chattanooga. It's like the downstairs. This isn't a sentence, but you'll get over it. The downstairs is like the ceilings feel pretty low and the tables are cool, and you just like feel like you're hanging out with friends. And then there's multi-stories, and the kitchen at the top is called The Fix, and they have some food, and it's very like fun Asian fusion foods.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about their food is they love gochujang, which Jasmine and I are obsessed with. And so all of their stuff is like kimchi or gochujang oriented, and it's so much fun.
Oh, I just want to there's a fun story I have about Bitter Ale. I love that place. First off, get their panko chicken. It's amazing. It's so good. But yeah, speaking to that whole just it feels like you're there with your friends kind of vibe. One time I was there with some friends, and the table next to us, I'm a big history nerd, and I could overhear that the people next to us were having some weird conversation about this ancient civilization called the Scythians, and they're describing these concepts to their friends. And I just hopped in on it. I was just yeah. And then there's this other cool discovery in Kazakhstan. I just joined in with them. And that was the most kinship I've ever felt with random people at a bar before. So go there and find those people.
That's so much fun. I love that. The first time I ever went there was with my dad and my uncle after a Weird Al concert. And so it's forever ingrained. It's Weird Al and Bitter Al.
Fun,
yeah. All right. So then you have the next one, which is Daily Ration that they took over. It was the farmer's daughter, I think, before they took it over. It's more breakfast, brunch, sandwich oriented with really good coffee. But yeah, it's just when we went last time, I got a kimchi fried chicken sandwich that was killer. And what did you get? I forget.
What did I get? I think it was the
a roast beef sandwich.
No, I won't get that. It was I think it
no, that's completely wrong.
Was it I think it's a Nashville hot chicken thing
Oh
or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. You got the normal one on their menu, and I got the special of the day that was basically the same, just a different sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was killer. And they have breakfasty foods, and I think they do mimosas sometimes or all the time. I don't know, but it's a really cool vibe, and it's very wood and glass metal, and it feels where Better Alibi feels like New Orleans divey. This feels more elevated, rustic meets brunch in the country. Yeah. Cool.
That
We're,
works.
we're going with it.
It's barn dive.
Sounds dope.
If Cracker Barrel was actually nice.
Yeah. Shots fired.
In the best way possible. Yeah. And then you've got Clever Ale House, which used to be the Big Frog Brewing on Dayton Boulevard in Red Bank. It now has arcade games in the downstairs. The upstairs is their bar. They have a food truck in the back where you order the food at the bar, and they make it in the food truck. They have there's going to be a theme here. They have a kimchi Philly cheesesteak.
So we know the way to your heart.
Yes. And then they have queso tots. And that's phenomenal. They have tacos and stuff too. Just really fun food. They have beer. They have cocktails. And it's just a really fun vibe there too. But instead of the New Orleans-y vibe, it's more of a almost like a New England pub vibe almost, if that makes sense.
That immediately made me think they have wigs.
Not that type of New England.
I don't know why I went there. I was like, the Patriot.
Yeah, not that one. Okay, and then Civil Provision is their most recent, well, not soon to be most recent, but they opened it a few months ago on top of Signal Mountain, and it's their classiest location. It's more on the upscale end, obviously being on Signal Mountain, that makes sense. When I went, I think we got a fish and a steak, and they have pasta. It used to be the Hummingbird Pastaria, and they wanted to make sure to delineate so that people didn't think they were also an Italian eatery, because that's not what they are. And they have a really interesting opinion on wine, and they price their wine to where it's really affordable to get a bottle at the table, because they want it to be more family oriented and friends oriented. And the intent there is to make a accessible but high class eatery to where you can kind of either with your family or your friends, after you're done climbing or working or whatever, you go over and you just hang out and have a good time. So you're more likely to find people in ties and stuff, but you also can find people in joggers. Not shorts probably, but joggers. Yeah. And then I think they're opening soon at the Choo Choo. They're doing the old American Draft train car and the old Blue Light, and there's a field or a section in between where they're doing live music. And then if you're ever at the golf course down south, what's it called? I don't remember. They have a food truck over there at the clubhouse. And I think that's all their stuff. They have a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a little nice, cool ecosystem.
Empire.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. That spoke a lot.
That was great.
Yeah, that was great. For me, I mean, the first ones that come to mind, because I just, I love creativity. I got to shout out my creative people, especially organizations doing cool stuff. Clear Story Arts is really awesome. They have amazing artist spaces where they, people can have their studio. at an affordable rate, and it's a great like way to get into that. Like for me, I had a studio there, and it was a phenomenal season of my life. Painting away, it was really great. And they also do really cool things like first Friday of the month, they have open studio nights where you can go see the new gallery show as well as walk around and talk to the artist. So love Clear Story Arts. They're fantastic. And then I've been hanging out with my buddy Aaron Quinn over at Walnut Street Publishing. And Aaron. And super, super cool people. If you are interested in like your own stuff, like you write short stories or books or poems or you do art, you definitely need to get connected with Aaron and Walnut Street Publishing, because not only do they have the great events that are just like great community focused events based around creativity, you can also like get your stuff published and like get in a book or a magazine, or, you know, actually get in the shop on the website. So it's making local creativity very accessible and helping a lot of people get their starts getting published, getting that first publishing credit and like moving forward in their creative careers. And I just freaking gets me so stoked. I'm actually going to do like emceeing a poetry night next month.
April 20th at Red Bud venue.
Yes, thank you. And so that's going to be a lot of fun. There's 10 poets that are having like chapbooks coming out. I think 8 of them will be able to be at the event, and they're actually going to be reading poetry live. I'll be emceeing. And if you want to challenge me, we're going to do a little thing where I have to do some poetry on the spot based off of stuff from the crowd. So
we're doing a cipher?
Yeah, it's a poetry cipher, man.
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
it's going to be awesome.
That takes me back.
What's one of the poets that we're especially excited about?
Yeah, so if you don't know her yet, just you wait. Rachel Krumanacher. She is putting out a chapbook. I actually had a really great conversation with her the other day. We were talking through her book and trying to think through like how to order the poems, and as well as like I did a lot of poetry editing for a magazine in college, and so it was a really great experience to like go back in time and do some line edits. And it was like, oh man, I forgot how much I love doing poetry, but also especially like reading others and helping them like distill it down even further. So super fun. Cannot wait. She's amazing.
To clarify, she's one of our managers at Be Caffeinated. That's why we're also especially excited.
Yeah.
But she got published in the Walnut Street Publishing's first, what do they call it? The big book?
The Walnut Branch.
The Walnut Branch, which is incredible. And she has 2 poems in there. And I read them and I was like, dude, like, this is so good. I was like, I knew you were talented, but reading them, I was like, the things you're making me feel just from words, and like, you know, it's only, I don't know, 15, 20 lines, but it just puts so much emotion forth. And yeah, we're so proud of her, and it's really exciting.
So cool.
Yeah. And then our friend Sydney with Be the Change and the company Wolves is also getting published in a chapbook as well.
Yeah.
I got to see the cover of the other day. It's really exciting.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. So, yeah, and there's lots of other amazing creative people. If I didn't mention you, just know that if we've ever talked about creativity, I'm freaking rooting for you. You got this, and I believe in you.
Believe in the me that believes in you.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so that's me. Nate, what about you?
Yeah, so this one, it might spark some debate. So
I'm so excited.
So Nougat Today, which we know about Nougat Today, awesome organization.
I was like, Nougat Today? What's sparking?
No, it's not Nougat Today.
It's Nougat tomorrow.
But a really cool group. Totally should have hired me. Cut that if you want. But yeah, Nougat Today, yeah, really
I'm
cool
glad
group
they
that
didn't
does
hire
like.
you.
I know, me too. In the long run, but I would have killed. But yeah, Nougat Today, really cool organization in our area that promotes like local news and happenings. They do a fantastic job of just keeping people aware, and they did a big like bracket contest of local pizza places.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, and the grand winner was Pizzeria Cortile over in Red Bank.
In Red Bank.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love those guys. First off, their staff is awesome. They have just really cool people over there. They're so kind, and they always just do like a great job of like taking care of their customers. And then they just have like such like unique pizzas. Like I'm
What's
not
your
a
favorite
pizza
one?
guy. Okay, I think last time I was there, it's called like the Bianca or something like that.
Yep, the mushroom.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's got like
They have a
like,
bougie
cheese.
Bianca too, which is
They
really-
do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sometimes
cool.
it's their special.
Like edible gold.
No, it's what's it called? The vinaigrette reduction, balsamic.
Ooh,
Nice.
that's awesome. Yeah, they have really unique pizzas. And I'm glad that they won because I love that place. Like I was saying, I really am not a pizza guy. I eat if I have to, like parties and stuff.
I don't think I knew that. Noted.
It's okay.
3 years now.
I've been giving him pizza coupons for 3 years.
But yeah, it's really just not my favorite food, but I would so willingly go there. I've gone there so many times. I love that place. But yeah, do you guys have any other pizza places in like Chattanooga that you really like love?
Fiamma, it's really good.
Fiamma, yeah.
I've been doing a lot more gluten-free recently, and I had the gluten-free pizza, and I was like, how is this gluten-free pizza? Like, this is like incredible, like so good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Pizzeria Cortile is my favorite pizza restaurant in town. Fiamma is second. Fiamma is really convenient for us to be caffeinated, but it's where we've started taking our new hires for our culture food night because they do personal customized pizzas, so it's super convenient for like people that don't like pizza. They have sandwiches too, but yeah, they're great. I want to shout out. I don't know if she still works there. I haven't seen her in a while, but Francine used to work at Pizzeria Cortile, and she was awesome. She might still work there. I'm not sure, but she was a super regular at Be Caffeinated. And every time I'd go in, it's just such a cool person. And then Justin, the owner, is just such a nice guy and does some cool stuff. Have you ever been to one of their Sunday dinners?
No,
I haven't either. But every week, this is cool. Every week they have a Sunday dinner, and it's something just different and wild and good and crazy.
Are you pulling it up?
Yeah, I'm gonna see what this week's is. Let's see.
Well, they
Instagram,
might be
please.
closed.
Oh, that's true. I'll say what last week's was. But they've done like a fried chicken meal before. They've done like wings. Also, their wings are really good.
Nice.
Cuban sandwiches was last Sunday's, like a Cuban. The one before that was pulled pork and fixins. They've done on a Friday dinner pork, lemon, and fennel ragu with pepper deli pasta. So yeah, like Justin, he owns a pizza restaurant, but him and his chefs, like, they go all out on all their food.
Awesome.
And the chorizo pie, have you had that one yet?
No. Okay, that's good to know.
And the Mr. Potato Head.
We gotta start like planning some dinners, guys.
Dude,
Yeah.
that place is lit. Yeah. Anyways, I love Pizzeria Cortile.
So yeah, last one, a quick one, and then we'll do our like closing super fun back speed round.
All right, I would be remiss if I did not talk about Megan and Jason at Infinity Flex. They're some of the coolest people. They have super expanded everything Infinity Flex over the last like 6 months or so, and they took over the other half of the building they're in, and every time I go in, something is just even more amazing. And like they turned one of their rooms into just like a straight up tabletop role playing room. So it's like all D&D and like Star Wars, TTRPG and all that. And so the whole room is just that. There's like dice, there's books, there's figurines, there's painting stuff. They have used video games, they have comics, they have board games, anything nerdy, they probably have it. They're also like my main Lorcana source now, stuff like that. But they're just so nice and so cool. And they're doing so many cool things with the community and just the tight-knit community they've created for nerds, which a lot of times don't have a lot of cool spaces to go to, or at least where they kind of feel super comfortable. Megan and Jason make them feel so seen and so comfortable, and it's really cool. Yeah, so go check out Infinity Flex. If not for yourself, there's something there that you can gift somebody.
I will say that Infinity Flux is the only local place I know of where you can get the Old Gods of Appalachia role-playing game. So if you are interested in that, do it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's awesome. I want to shout out my friend Joshua Allen from Jam Sessions Productions. He's really great, and he does our live streaming for Coffee Break. But before that, he's just a friend, a good person I love talking to. Every single time I run into him, I feel really encouraged. He's just a great guy, great vibes. And we've been having some really cool, like, just conversations about business and philosophy and everything like that. So, yeah, he also does a lot of cool things with videography, with like anything music related. So, like, especially live musical performances, so if you're doing something with, I don't know, Chattanooga Symphony Opera or, cool music recital or something like that, like he has a passion for music and a passion for videography, and it's really cool. I have a similar love because my whole background before all the things I do now was in music. And so, yeah, it's just super cool stuff.
And I think he's also adding on and focusing on like live streaming those things, trying to push really hard into that, which I hadn't really seen a lot of that going on. And I think that's a really cool market that he's tapping into, especially for things where sound really matters.
Yeah,
like
100%.
Music.
Yeah, that it's a special expertise to not only get the video good, but to have that awareness of audio because you're also an audio person.
Yeah. And every time I talk to him, I'm just like, he makes me think so hard.
Yeah.
Just asked such good questions, and he's like, "Have you thought about it this way?" And I'm like, "No," but now I can't stop thinking about it. I'm just like, Joshua, what are you doing to me? It's so much fun.
Yeah, and you can also watch some of those live streams he does of Coffee Break on our YouTube channel, actually. Yeah, the last one that came out, yeah, my partner never really, because of her work schedule, gets to go to our coffee breaks, but she always wants to. I literally, I sat down, watched the whole 2-hour thing, a couple of days ago with her, and it felt kind of like I was a psychopath, because it's just me going and now, oh yeah, this is the part where Lynn walks in. And then Lynn would walk in, I'd be like, yeah, it's Lynn. And I'd start explaining what Lynn does. And I'd be like, he's going to go talk to this person now.
It's community building on demand.
Play by play. Oh, is he going to go for a scone? No. Oh, he's going for a black coffee.
Oh, I didn't know they were gluten free.
That'd actually be pretty fun.
And then you can just judge whoever puts cream in their coffee. Just kidding.
All right, Nate, your last one. And then we're going to do our speed round to close off.
Yeah, so mine, we're going to take a little trip down south, y'all. We're going to go to Chickamauga, Georgia, where I grew up. We're going to go over to Choo Choo Barbecue. I've been telling everyone I can about this place. Maybe I shouldn't be. But y'all, if you go down to Choo Choo Barbecue in Chickamauga, Georgia, you can get their killer tots, which is a plate full of tater tots covered in your meat of choice and barbecue sauce and all that good stuff. $10. It could feed a small army. It's incredible. The food is so affordable. It's so good. I think it's this weird hidden gem. I hope that me talking about it doesn't somehow ruin them or make them think they should raise their prices, because they shouldn't. But yes, go check out Choo Choo Barbecue in Chickamauga. And just take a look around the town while you're down there. Get an idea of the fun local businesses, and see all the fun stuff you'll get to take part in at the Green Eyes Festival.
Yeah, good sneak peek for the Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, now I'm hungry.
That's the second time we've talked about that.
I know, yeah.
So good.
Yeah, we need a food tour version of the show.
Oh, you get Brianna on from Chat
Oh, yeah,
Taste.
that'd be fun.
Cool.
Okay, speed round. One thing that you learned from a podcast or book recently. Chris, go.
Put me on the spot. I was listening to the Square One podcast this morning where they interviewed Matt Hollander, and he was talking about some of the principles in his book. He said that he doesn't do chapters in his book, it's principles. And I'm going to completely butcher the principle names because they're really clever, and I can't remember clever things. If I ever tell a joke, I always forget the punchline. But it was something about wearing shoes that are too big so that you have room to grow into them. And basically his ideology is imagine who you want to be one day. And then when you wake up in the morning, be like, what would someone like that? What would their habits be? So he said he doesn't believe in goals. He believes in just personifying the person you want to be one day. Cause it doesn't just happen. He's like, if you're trying to, stop drinking or lose weight or whatever, you don't get there by doing goals. You get there by kind of habits and kind of doing that. And the book I'm reading right now is Atomic Habits. Mm-hmm. And it's been really helpful. And so, yeah, I think I've just been consuming a lot of things about making those habits and prioritizing my own mental health, my own physical health, and my physical therapy for my leg has been kicking my tail. And, I don't want to ever have to go through surgery again. So I'm like, how can I make that happen? So, yeah.
Nice. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
All very cohesive lessons to stack on each other.
I tried, which is an Atomic Habits.
There you go.
Stacking habits.
Boom. Amazing. For me, let's see. Recently, I've been listening a lot to the Noah Kagan podcast. If you don't know who he is, he's
not Noah Kahn.
Not Noah Kahn. No, Noah Kagan is a businessy dude. He has a big company called AppSumo that does essentially software deals, which is a good way to have advertising for the different companies that they work with. But you can also get software at a discount. Super neat. But his podcast is really cool because he's very open and honest about everything about his process and way of thinking. And I was listening to an episode recently that was all about their team playbook essentially and their core values and how they live them out. And one of the ones that he's like, this is what I would have everyone tattoo on their body to remember more than anything else at the company, which is test then invest. And this is a big idea that's pretty common in entrepreneurship to test things out. But I think there's levels to the use of the knowledge that you have. So I've thought about test and invest kind of idea for a long time, but I'm realizing as I'm listening to his podcast and others, how much they do that every single time on anything. Like, it's not just like, oh, we'll do a little testing this month on X. It's like, no, hey, we're trying to figure out a title. Who can I test it with? We're trying to figure out the price point. Who can I test it with? We're going to try out the cover of a book. Like, okay, let's do a bunch of different tests and just see, like, most of the time what you think as the creator is not necessarily what is going to translate well to other people. And the best way to figure out what's going to work is go talk to them. And honestly, it's helping me to take that idea and then apply it on full force. And I'm really, that's just like drilled into my brain, test and invest.
It's very similar to the lean startup concept and minimum viable product, but I feel like it's kind of even more distills it down.
Yeah. It's like, okay, instead of testing something in a month, how can you test it in the next 48 hours and be like, cool, yes or no, or change, and that's been really neat.
Yeah, that's huge. I know, like, we were talking about that earlier, kind of like ways to like utilize that in HiveThink and like your personal projects. Yeah. So for Nate, I've been re-listening recently to Revisionist History, some of the episodes of it by Malcolm Gladwell, incredible journalist / reporter. I love his books, Tipping Points, Blink, Outliers, all fantastic reads that are really interesting for like how they dive into different topics and kind of like compare them to like real life lessons. So, and one that I was listening to recently, he talks about like kind of the fallacy that I think a lot of businesses do, is like the focus on like your number one to the point of like neglecting your number twos, like in the workplace. The example that he used is like with sports, where it's like everyone wants to have, the Messi, like the uber famous football player, and they'll spend like so much money, to have that guy on their team, when the next like two guys down might be like literally like so close in skill, but like their value is so much lower. And it's like, do we really want to spend, and get those two guys when we can have like the big flashy thing, I think that's something that happens a lot of business too, is like the big focus on like, like this person is like our best team member, so you spend all of your time heaping praise onto them, giving them the big projects. And meanwhile, your number twos, to use a phrase for that, the people who maybe like they're really good, but they just need some development, they end up getting kind of like just pushed to the side because you're so focused on like the person who you can rely on.
You're calling them poop.
Yes, I am.
I'm just kidding.
Coming better.
So I just remembered, do y'all know who Adam Grant is?
Yeah.
He wrote like, when did he write?
The originals.
Yeah, so he does a lot of stuff with Simon Sinek and what's her name?
Brene Brown.
Brene Brown. My brain's not working. I saw a video with him recently, kind of on what you're talking about, and he was talking about hiring and culture, and he said he was under the impression, kind of based on psychology, that culture. So there's kind of two types of people. There's givers and there's takers. So when you're talking to a taker, it's all about like what they can get from you, and givers are like, what can I do for you? And he said that he assumed, and this is so revolutionary, and I was like, oh my god. He's like, if you have a team of 10, he assumed that when you're hiring, the goal should be to have as many givers as possible, because that makes a good team. And he's like, I was wrong. The goal should be to have no takers. He was like, if you have a taker, it just tanks the entire team. And it's not like, it doesn't matter how many givers you have, they can't make up for the bad taker. He's like, he talked about kind of the bad apple spoiling the bunch, and he's like, one good egg doesn't make a dozen, Yeah. And I thought that was such an interesting philosophy. And he said that when kind of he consults people with hiring now, he says the goal of the interview should be to determine if they're givers or takers. And if they're takers, you don't hire them. And if they're givers, you do. But it's more primarily focused on not making sure that you don't hire the takers, because that's who actually ends up destroying it. It's not about how good you can make it. It's about limiting the bad and then creating that safe culture that the givers can thrive in, because they can't thrive if the takers on the team. So I thought that was fascinating.
That's huge.
And because it's not how we've been hiring. We've been like looking for givers, obviously, but it's more like, are you a good person or not? And are you nice? But like that changes how you ask the questions. If you're looking for, are you a taker? Are you a giver? It changes the framing in which you ask and the threads you start to pull on. Yeah. Anyways, so kind of what you were saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. What's next, Mike?
Yeah. So next, let's just like a fun fact could be something about your life or just something you're like, oh yeah, I found this out. It was dope.
Fun fact, in the Company of Wolves moved on to the finals of Road to Nightfall. They have a new song releasing this. It will have released 3 days ago when this comes out on Good Friday, called Ruins of the Temple. It was on purpose. You should listen to it. And they have probably launched a Patreon by now. And Be the Change Youth Initiative, which is also them and our friends and partners in nonprofit, are launching their financial support program right now, where you can be a monthly giver to them as well. So if you're feeling good coming off of Easter weekend and want to do something really good with your money, invest it where it counts, here locally with Be the Change and in the Company of Wolves. That's my fun fact.
I like it.
Oh, also, I'm their roadie. That's a fun fact.
My fun fact is there is these kind of worm larva things that eat through plastic, which is wild. Like there's like the evolution of something natural and organic has figured out a way where it's like, yeah, no, I naturally want to eat plastic, which is really revolutionary for the potential of getting rid of like this huge problem of, plastic and how do we deal with it? And it's really neat. They're not, and you might be thinking, oh no, they're going to have these giant worm farms, which is not the case. What they're doing is they're actually reverse engineering the enzymes that these worms are producing to break down the plastic, so that then they can mass produce it to then have like plastic elimination places.
I feel like this is the beginning of a really scary sci-fi movie where they create this thing that eats the plastic and then it eats us instead.
Yeah.
Or like the blob or something.
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of like the iRobot or something.
Yeah. We'll enjoy the ride until it gets there. But anyways, I saw that and it just blew my mind, and I still think it's really cool. So yeah, that's my fun fact. Nate.
Nice. Yeah, my fun fact, and well, when this comes out, this won't be as relevant, but tomorrow is Creative Mornings, which is another great local networking / community building kind of event that happens in Chattanooga. Tomorrow is their one for March. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. I feel like we're already in April. Okay. Tomorrow's their March one. Yeah. And they're going to have John.
I'm so sad. Yeah. I'm not going to be there. I want to hear John speak great. So bad. Yeah. If y'all don't know about John, I can't remember his last name right now. I think it's like Kowalski or something like that. Chris is pulling it up. Thank you. But yeah, so John is a local figure who he has gone viral a couple times for the fact that he has social media accounts where he points out issues in our local infrastructure, basically, and he'll talk about like ways to improve them, not just complaining, but actual ways that we can make Chattanooga a better city for commuters of all sorts and just a better like place to live. John Wesolowski.
Wesolowski. Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
His Instagram is johnjohn.jpg, and it's the Happy Urbanist.
Yes, yeah. He's also involved with the Chattanooga Urbanist Society. I don't know if he's like their leader or what, or how that works. I just know he's involved with them. And they're also
influence-wise, he probably is.
Yeah. Yeah, and he that's a group that he's a part of that. Basically what they do is they're helping out with just fixing various issues around our community. They've done like some infrastructure repairs in neighborhoods that have been like underprovided for in the past. They've done stuff like put benches over at bus stops that didn't have them for some reason. So just really cool stuff to just help out Chattanooga.
Something I love about them is like there's a lot of people that say they want things to change or want things done, and then they just stop there. And some people say they want things to change and want things done, and they use violence to get there. And then this group, I feel like, at least so far, and especially John, they use information to like provide like, this is why you should believe this. And they use hard data. And then they also like do the stuff non-violently, which is really exciting. And like they make the park benches and they cover up graffiti and they like fill potholes. And yeah, it's really cool. It's like what militia should be now, or like what community is supposed to do.
Absolutely.
It's really neat.
It's awesome. All right, last one, you guys. Any creative or fun thing you're working on outside of the world of business and all that?
Yeah, so I've gotten really into D&D over the last, I guess, year-ish, and I really enjoy writing, and I'm a huge high fantasy nerd. And there's these characters that have existed in my head for a while, and a couple weeks ago, I kind of put those characters into our D&D session and just kind of playing around with them, and it's really fun. So that's been great. We're in a writing group that we started recently that Michael started, and that's been really fun. And we just kind of just writing stuff and holding each other accountable and just kind of collaborating, and that's been fun. Walnut Street Publishing partners with Be Caffeinated once a month to do an open to the public D&D session. So if you've always wanted to try D&D, never have or don't know where to start, it's a great time to go because it's open for people that have never done it to people that have done it for 10 years. And it's always a fun, like, one shot. So you're not investing like months and months into it. It's just a one-time thing. And then you can come back every month. And it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Nice. That's
I've
a great
also
spread.
Been reading a lot. So
Yeah, nice.
a lot of Brandon Sanderson, of course.
Yeah. Wait, do you like Brandon Sanderson?
I didn't realize it when I said that, but I'm actually wearing 2 pieces of his merch right now. So Dragonsteel is his annual convention, and this is a Mistborn hat. So
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
For me, I've been having a lot of fun. I've always loved YouTube, and I'm actually having a great time like doing stuff on YouTube. And so recently I just did one of my favorite videos I've ever done. I love sketchbook tour videos, and so I feel really proud that I've, one, finished a sketchbook, and 2, I got to make one of those videos. I feel like I'm living the dream of me years and years ago watching like bajillions of sketchbook tour videos, and so that's just been really happy to have accomplished that. It's like part of my bucket list items is like checked off. So that's been great. And then I wrote the rough draft version of my first like 2-page mini comic. And that feels really nice because I want to keep leveling up and go from 2 pages to 4 pages to 16, you know, and just keep making cool visual stories. So yeah, that's honestly like been really exciting. I'm just super stoked.
Yeah, so I'm going to bring it back to what I originally talked about today. So I say we, it's mostly my partner, but the other night we actually rebuilt the Green Eyes costume. So we actually have a costume of our rough interpretation of what old Green Eyes looks like. And we've been doing some guerrilla marketing with that costume, just run around town. And that has taken a toll on the costume. Yeah. Especially after like recent adventures out in the woods for some photo shoots. They had all kinds of holes in it. One of the eyes was missing. So it's just old Green Eye. So we took a trip over to Hobby Lobby and we have rebuilt the costume. So I'm excited for y'all to see that soon.
The Green Eye Festival.
I love it. It's like the Eye of Sauron. Yeah. Awesome. Well, guys, this has been a super fun bonus community chest episode. Thanks to everyone that's inspired us to shout you out. And thank you to all the ones that are unshouted out, but you're shouted out in our hearts. And
yeah, come see us at Coffee Break on April 12th. It'll be at the AIM Center. You can find out more information at happycoffeebreak.com or on Coffee Break Chattanooga on our Instagram or on our HiveThink Instagram. And we also have a Business Buzz newsletter that comes out every week with cool tips and stuff if you're ever interested in that.
And if you want to sponsor a coffee break, that would be super cool. Please reach out to us.
We pay our musicians and it's free coffee and pastries, and we'd like it to be not as free, at least for my wallet. Yeah. But yeah, thanks guys. It's really fun talking to each other and to you. And yeah, we like being here.
Awesome. We'll catch you in the next one. A bunch of cool guests coming up. We'll see you soon.
Bye.